What's going on, you fiddlers? Nick Daniels here, coming at you live, man, yet again. We're doing a night walk, night video. It's about almost 10 p.m. We figured we'd just make a little video here right on the side of the road, so my apologies if you hear some traffic coming by, or if it gets really dark and you can't see me, but that's how it is. We actually were just doing some guitar, and I might do a separate video about that. It's actually really encouraging. I'm getting some motivation lately. But anyway, so we're going to be talking about some online dating today, just because it gets views, so why not? And yeah, specifically though, I want to talk about something kind of funny. And in my humble opinion, and how to succeed with online dating. Now, I'm going to warn you. And again, yeah, there's going to be points you're just not going to be able to see me because it gets too dark. Don't worry about it. But I don't really think, in a nutshell, there's really a way to succeed with online dating. So the way that I'm going to talk about succeeding with it is going to be a little different than what a lot of YouTube channels talk about. The YouTube channels you're going to see that talk about that specifically really are just going to say one thing, and it's how to get matches. To me, that's not really succeeding with online dating. Okay? So, online dating for most men, anyway, all right, is usually not that good. And it's funny because like they just obviously, they go there for certain reasons. I can only really relate to why I go to it and then just kind of say from there. So specifically for me, you know, weird times though, COVID-19, okay? You know, online dating makes a little bit more sense at that point because obviously like you're probably just shot in the streets and hunted down if you talk to a woman out at a bar nowadays. But I mean, you know, it's a safe mechanism. You know, you don't have to go through some hardships. Now, I'm not that guy that's going to be like, go out and talk to women in person. I struggle with that. So I'm not going to tell you to do that. But I am going to say that there is a way to succeed with it. And it's not by necessarily getting matches, but it's just understanding the fundamentals that it's probably not going to work out. And yeah, so like I do online dating, like I said, because, you know, I kind of struggle talking to women in person. And when I do, though, and I don't struggle, is I never make the move for a phone number, you know, or some advancement. You know, I'm also a little dense. I can't always tell that a woman's like hitting on me or flirting with me or something. So she might very well be into me, and I just can't tell the obvious signs. You know, online dating can make that a little bit more clear-cut. You can just kind of understand. The problem with it, and I've talked about this before, I find I talk to a lot of people and they get really depressed, you know, and their confidence level goes down. And I relate to that because I actually suffered with that. I know it sounds really bad. Also, this is actually really bright under the streetlights. It's actually really good. I really struggled with that because I totally got that. I was like, dude, like, you know, my confidence was shot. You know, and what I find myself doing, even still today, is I'll go on like Bumble, for example, and I'll swipe no on pretty women because I don't believe I have a chance with them. Now, that's not necessarily saying like I don't. It's that I also know the game is rigged. Like, you know, they're only going to be swiping after the guys with the six packs, and I don't have one of those. And I think that's what it is, man. You just kind of brace for it, you know. You, online dating, like, I think really what happens, and like, I'm just going to talk from personal experience here. I think how I reacted to it for most of the time I've used it, which is now considering quite a long time, and I've used the majority of all the popular apps by now, and some of the obscure ones, is you kind of have to brace for it, like failure. You know? I think in real life you do too, though. You have to be ready to ask out a girl and just get completely shot down. Yeah, but like you have to be ready for it. And online dating, I think you even have to be ready for it even more, because like, you know, you could match with a girl on Tinder and get unmatched immediately. Like, I saw that happen to somebody. He got upset. You know, you could make a Bumble account and get no matches for a week. Like, it's gonna happen, you know. You're gonna line up a date on Hinge and get ghosted or stood up. It's gonna happen, you know. And I think that's it, man. I think I've said it before. Like, you gotta treat it like a game, you know. And recently, I re-hit up Bumble, you know, as I always do. And the last time or two I've done that, like I've kind of taken like a month off of it, and I come back kind of refreshed, you know, and nothing usually changes. But I've come back with a whole different attitude after reading the Dating Playbook for Men, and you know, and I'm applying it accordingly. So what I've done, I was actually going to make a video on that, like you know, weeks ago or a month ago, and I never bothered. But so what I did specifically with that in mind was I changed up the profile. You know, I got some good pictures. Well, I mean, I honestly, like, let's just be honest here, I used the same ones, but you know, I limited it down to like 3 or 4, and I had good pictures, you know, decent ones. Flushed out the profile, and I talked about a few things, right? A few things I like doing. Trying to cram as much as you can in, but without overloading it and making it look like it was trash and I was trying too hard. If I get a conversation with somebody, let's just say in Bumble, there's been a couple, and they're just getting boring. Like, they're not really going anywhere. I don't even bother. I don't even respond to them. I leave them, and I let them hang there. And I just lose interest. I did that to like 8 people. It was just like the conversation just immediately was dropping, because like no move is being made on my part or theirs, or like for whatever reason, you know, I lost interest, like me, not the women, man, me. And I was like, you know what, see ya. And that's it. I just move on. And you know, I guess I wouldn't really say I don't check it every day, but you know, I take a look at Bumble probably a couple times a day, you know, whatever. Like, that's pretty normal though. You just kind of peek around, you just see what's going on, you swipe on a couple people, you know, whatever. And you don't swipe on everyone you do. I find I got a lot more picky, so like obviously physically there too, and you know, I read through the profile, and you know, if it's just a bunch of BS and fluff, I just go to the next person. You know, I feel, it's funny, like I feel like I have a better idea of what I'm after, you know, like kind of somebody maybe I'd actually want to hang out with. And I find like a lot of the profiles there are just fluff. I think that makes sense. That's a fair thing to say. You know, just a bunch of fluff profiles, no big deal. But yeah, so like I get rid of those. I X those right away. And like I said, I've come at it with that attitude that it's just a game, man. You know, it's passing time. I find you're kind of passively talking to people. You know, and if I get a match here and there, it's pretty exciting. But like, I'm not, it's not my primary source, you know. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm trying to do more meetups and social events, which I've got 2 this weekend. And it's just, and you know, and you don't even look at who's going. You know, I think there's a couple girls going to each. You don't sweat it. You don't think about it. And that's it. You know, I've got my pub thing next weekend. So like the matchmaker's running an event. And next weekend, like there's like 5 girls and 5 guys, and we're going out to like a couple pubs. Don't think about it, you know. And if I can apply what I did from there, that's perfect. But you know, don't come off as needy. You know, don't overthink it. You know, keep it cool on the apps. You know, keep it friendly and a little fun, but move towards, you know, try to move towards a date if possible, and if not, fucking move on, because there's no point in talking. You know, for endless days, if we can't progress towards like an actual physical date, then there's really no point in us chatting, in my opinion. And treat it like a game, man. If you get blown away, right, whatever. You get unmatched, whatever. You get ghosted, who cares? Right? Awesome. Honestly, like, it's funny, like, I had this chick yesterday, and we were chatting, and I lost interest, and I just stopped talking to her. And like, since yesterday, I have like, it's been me who hasn't responded. And that's it, man. You leave the ball in your court. Or or technically in their court, really. But I mean, like, it's just like, sorry, technically that was a swear word. I'm trying not to swear. Don't message them a bunch of times. I mean, I normally don't do that anyway. I think that's a bunch of crap. Or not anymore anyway. But yeah, so like, I just leave them. And that's it. Like, she messaged me last, I left it. I lost interest. And you know what? I think that's it. I just start holding more cards, and for some reason I just feel better about myself. I don't want to say like it's like an ego boost because like I'm ignoring women. I don't think so. I want to chat, but when the conversation gets to the point that it's boring, it's me making the call. I don't know. So what do you guys think? Do you kind of agree with my decision? Or maybe you disagree? Well, let me know. And if not, well, you know, fuck, I'll just pound sand. There we go. There's the swear word. All right, take it easy. Nick Daniels, online dating. 2020, 2021. Clearly I've been talking about this for a while.